With me today is Greg Ruffino. Greg's been in the collection industry since 2010, where he started from the ground up as a frontline collector for Williams & Fudge. He then spent 10 years at the company as its director of training before leaving in 2023 to join Interpros, where he's the North American sales manager. Greg, thanks again for being a part of Training Bites. Would love to get your thoughts today on what should a collector do if a consumer refuses to do nothing other than make some minimal payment, some minimal amount toward the debt?
Well, thanks for having me, Mike. And that's a great question. I'm sure that's something that happens in pretty common order or great frequency. The first thing I'm going to do, and this would be after we've already had that full discussion. I've tried to understand their financial situation. I've made them other offers, but to your scenario, we're now at a point where they are just saying, I will only give some form of minimum amount. So at that point in time, I think it's very good to have the mindset that says you've already won. Because I look at any one of these files where, one, they're engaging and communicating with me, that's a win. Two, they're clearly not disputing the balance if they're offering any form of payment, that's a huge win. And three, they are seemingly prepared to pass payment credentials to me to at least knock some of the balance off the top. So at the very least, Mike, my mindset is going to thank them because we've already won in 3 different ways. So if it is definitive that we either take the minimum or nothing, Mike, I'm taking the payment, and I'll tell you why. I have a mindset as a collector that says today is the only day I will ever get to talk to you. Whether that's true or not, history in the future, time will tell. Even if we've already spoken 5 or 10 times in the past, today, I assume, is the last time I'm ever going to speak to you. Because we know they don't have to answer the phone. They don't have to respond to emails or texts. They can just go off and do their life and never speak to us again. So I need to maximize what opportunity is presented to me now. I am taking the payment, Mike. And the reason there is the odds and the statistics are going to be in our favor after they make a payment or 2 or 3, or they start making progress on that balance. It is much more likely that they are going to want to complete that process and not submit a few payments to me and then abandon the efforts where all that money went for nothing. So I believe if someone starts making inroads and into that commitment, they're much more likely to follow up on that commitment or to put that on their plate of importance. So today, I'm going to capture that payment. Now, I'm also going to give them a full rundown of all their other options, planting that seed again as well. But I'm going to let them know we are doing you a solid today by setting you up on this minimum amount. However, as a condition of putting you into that lower tier, please expect from us, whether that's monthly, quarterly, whatever that is, we are going to be getting on the phone with you to do a review of your account to inquire on how we can increase that. You can also set this payment up where it's what we refer to as a balloon kind of payment. It inflates over time. Yes, man, for the first 3 months, we're happy to work with you on our minimum of $50 or whatever that is. But on months 4, 5, and 6, I really need to push it up to 75. And on months 7, 8, and 9, we bump it up to 100. But I want to present to them that we will allow this minimum at the onset to help you start making progress. But in the near-term future, we are expecting that to increase to escalate how quickly we can get this paid off. I'm going to fully explain those expectations to them, and of course look for future opportunities like right now, the tax season. Maybe we take 1 or 2 months of a minimum payment, then you get that tax return that we can apply to the payment in full or the settlement in full. But to end this category here, it's the last time in my mind that I ever talk to you. And I believe if you start making progress today, you're going to complete that. So I will work with you at least for a time frame, and I'm going to take that minimum payment. And that's how you do it, Mike.
Well, I appreciate that, Greg. I hope this isn't the last time we talk. I hope it isn't. But I want to thank you again for being a part of Training Bites. I want to thank Peak Revenue Learning for sponsoring this series, and I want to thank everybody who's watching it. We appreciate it. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until then, take care.